You've heard the saying, right? Only two things in life are certain: death and taxes. Well, I'd argue there's a third one: people trying to get out of paying those taxes. It's a game as old as civilization itself. But here's the crazy part. What if we're this close to finally actually solving it for good? Let's get into it. But before we get to the solution, you really got to appreciate the size of this problem. I mean, we're not talking about something new here. This is a challenge that has completely stumped governments for thousands and thousands of years. I mean, look at this timeline. It tells you everything you need to know. The very first tax records we have, etched on clay tablets 6,000 years ago, you can bet your bottom dollar that the very first attempts to fudge the numbers happened the next day. We've gone from clay to the cloud, right? Our tech is worlds apart, but the basic problem, tax evasion, it's pretty much exactly the same. Okay, so let's just make sure we're all on the same page. What is tax evasion? Stripped down, it's just illegally not paying what you owe the government. Simple definition, right? But it's a super, super complex human behavior. And this quote, this really nails it. It's about the psychology of the taxpayer. Suddenly, it's not just about laws and spreadsheets anymore. It's about what's going on inside someone's head. It shifts the whole conversation from what tax evasion is to why it happens. You know, why do otherwise good, law-abiding people think it's okay not to pay? Exactly. It's so easy to just write it off as greed, right? Oh, they just don't want to part with their money. But it's way more complicated than that. People have these really powerful justifications, these psychological alibis they tell themselves to make it feel okay. So let's dig into that. What are these alibis? What's going through someone's mind that makes them think, yeah, you know what? This seems fine. Okay, so here are some of the big ones. First, there's this idea that not doing something isn't as bad as doing something. So forgetting to declare some income doesn't feel like robbing a bank, right? Then you've got the sheer complexity of it all. The system is so complicated it almost feels like you're being punished just for trying to comply. And a lot of people just see taxes as a black hole, money they'll never see again, especially if they think government services are bad. Then there's the fairness angle. If the rates seem crazy high, people feel justified in fighting back. But honestly, the biggest one might be this: the everyone's doing it excuse. When it feels like it's the norm, well, it stops feeling like a crime. And this is where it gets really interesting. If you step back and look at all those reasons, you start to realize something. What if the problem isn't just the taxpayer? What if the problem is the system itself? A system that's confusing, that feels unfair, that basically tempts you at every turn. Maybe we've been playing defense this whole time, chasing down evaders when we should have been redesigning the game. And that's exactly what this new blueprint is all about. It's a radical proposal to stop patching the old, broken system and just build a new one from the ground up. So, what's the cornerstone of this new system? It starts with one single number, 10%, a flat tax maxing out at just 10%. Think about that, a rate so low, so simple, that all those psychological excuses we just talked about, they just start to fall apart. Okay, so here's how the four pieces fit together. First, that low 10% rate, it's on your gross revenue, not net income. That's huge because, poof, all the deductions, all the loopholes, all that complexity is just gone. Second, every single transaction has to have an electronic invoice, no exceptions. This creates a perfect digital paper trail. Third, all payments have to be traceable. We're talking digital payments, no more sketchy cash deals. And then the fourth part, and this is the real game changer, the banks automatically withhold the tax for the government right at the source. The second the money moves, the tax is paid. The temptation to evade is literally designed out of the system. Okay, but for a system like that to work, I mean, a system that's so automated and interconnected, you need some serious tech behind it. You need a backbone that is rock solid, totally transparent, and can't be cheated. Something that can track every single transaction without ever messing up. So what is this magic tech? Well, it's a revolution in something you probably don't think about much: accounting. We're talking about the biggest shakeup to bookkeeping in literally 500 years. We're moving from double entry to triple entry accounting, and it's all made possible by blockchain. So what the heck is blockchain really? The easiest way to think about it is like a magical shared digital notebook. Every time a transaction happens, a new line is written in the notebook. But here's the cool part. That notebook is copied and shared across thousands of computers, and every new line is cryptographically locked to the one before it.
It creates a chain. You can't go back and secretly erase or change something because everyone's copy would show the tampering. It becomes one single, undeniable source of truth for everyone.
And this is why it's such a giant leap. For centuries, we've used double entry accounting. Basically, the buyer has their books and the seller has theirs. And, surprise, surprise, sometimes those books don't match up, either by mistake or on purpose. Triple entry accounting brings in a third shared record on the blockchain. It's like having a neutral referee for every single transaction who creates one official, cryptographically sealed record that both sides share. All that my records say this, your records say that nonsense, it just vanishes. And that's why you hear words like interlocking and enduring used to describe it. Interlocking because every transaction is locked into the one before and after it. Enduring because once it's on the blockchain, it's there forever. You're basically creating an accounting system that has integrity built right into its DNA. All right, so let's put the two halves of this idea together. You have a super simple, low-rate tax system, and you have this incredibly secure, transparent blockchain technology powering it. So the big question is, what does that future actually look like? What are the real-world benefits?
Well, the benefits are pretty mind-blowing. For starters, tax evasion becomes, well, almost impossible. For businesses, that whole nightmare of tax season just goes away. All the money spent on accountants and lawyers to navigate the system, gone. Businesses can actually focus on, their business instead of playing tax games. And for the government, they get a constant, predictable flow of money without the massive cost of enforcement. It's truly a win for everyone involved.
But at the end of the day, the biggest change isn't the tech or the tax rate. It's a fundamental shift in philosophy. We stop playing this cat-and-mouse game, a system that basically dares people to cheat and then spends billions trying to catch them. Instead, we create a system where doing the right thing, where being compliant, is the easiest, most automatic choice you can make. And that's really the final idea I want to leave you with. For thousands of years, we've looked at tax evasion as a personal, moral failing. We've wagged our fingers at the individual. But what if it was never about bad people? What if it was always about a bad design? A system design problem that, for the very first time in human history, we finally have the tools to fix.